Hello, everyone. I'm Mark Steiner. And I know it might seem a little odd to have someone who spent so many years covering City Hall to be part of a political ceremony for a newly elected city official. But this is different. It's a deep honor for me to be here today to celebrate and open the swearing-in ceremonies for our new Comptroller of the City of Baltimore, Bill Henry Jr. I've known Bill Henry since he was a toddler. His dad and I were in the civil rights movement together, fighting to end segregation in our city and around the state. And I know his dad, Bill Henry Sr., was so very proud of his son. I know his spirit is here with us, smiling down and beaming with that unmistakable laugh. Bill Henry Jr.'s dad and his mom, Barbara, raised their children, Lenora and Bill, to be people of the deepest integrity, who care about social justice, and a belief that government is here to serve the people's interest, the citizens' interest, not just special interests. Bill showed that spirit in his years on the city council, and he'll bring that integrity back and have the people's back as he serves as our next comptroller. He'll be the watchdog, ensuring that our hard-earned taxes go to work for the betterment of all of our citizens. A new day is shining with honesty and devotion of service. Bill Henry's a man who loves this city and will ensure that not a penny is spent that does not serve our collective interests. So I couldn't be more proud at this moment than to have the honor to open the ceremony for Bill and Barbara's son, to watch him being sworn in as the next comptroller of the City of Baltimore. Congratulations, Bill Henry Jr., and congratulations to our city. The future is bright. And now it's my privilege to turn this over to the newly sworn in mayor of our city, Brandon Scott, who will swear in our next comptroller. Mr. Mayor.
Raise your right hand, sir. I, William Bill Henry,
do swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
and that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance
to the state of Maryland
to the state of Maryland
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and support the Constitution and laws thereof,
and that I will, to the best of my skill and judgment, diligently and faithfully, without partiality or prejudice, execute the office of Comptroller for the City of Baltimore, according to the Constitution and laws of this state. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
There you go.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank my family who are here with me, my wife Ruth, my daughters Claudia and Amelia, my sister Lenora, my mom Barbara and stepdad Joe are watching at home, and my father, Bill Henry Sr., passed away earlier this year, but I know he is with me, both looking down and bizarrely also looking up. I'd also like to thank the residents of Baltimore City for entrusting me with this position, and now I'm going to get to work. Today starts my term as your comptroller. I am intimately aware that I am taking public office at a time when trust in elected officials is extremely low. As a city, too many of us have resigned themselves to accepting corruption and incompetence from our government. This is unacceptable. I plan on spending every day of the next 4 years working with Mayor Scott, Council President Mosby, and the City Council to change this perception. As a city, we are continuing to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. My first priority will be moving the Board of Estimates processes to a digital format that will allow staff to telework. I am steadfast in my commitment to make our city's spending processes as safe and transparent as possible. As Jimmy Carter once said, we must adjust to changing times and still hold to unchanging principles. Lastly, I am excited to announce my transition report will be released in early January. My transition committee has been diligently working on a slate of recommendations for the past 3 months. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but we're ready. I'd also like to introduce my Deputy Comptroller, Erica McClammy. Erica will be overseeing the Department of Audits, the Municipal Post Office, the Department of Real Estate, and the Municipal Telephone Exchange. I also have Celeste Amato, my Chief of Staff. Celeste will be managing the executive office of my team, which includes the Board of Estimates, Human Resources, Communications, and Policy. That's it. I'm going to go back to work now unless you guys have questions. So the important thing that we'll be doing is actually delivering on the promises of the campaign. I spent a year talking to the people of Baltimore about how important openness and transparency was in the city's finances. I will be making certain that the Board of Estimates agenda process is as open and transparent as we can make it. We are working right now on identifying the proper changes made to both instituting and in some cases using software that we already have access to make sure that these processes can be done virtually instead of just on paper. If they're done virtually, that means they will be accessible to anyone who wants to search on the internet for information about how the city is spending its public tax dollars. As I said many times over the last year and a half, I believe if more people knew how the city was spending its money, we would spend it better.
Comptroller, are you planning to look into some of the lack of transparency in homeless services in their funding?
We will be auditing all of the agencies that we can. I'm already in conversations with the city auditor about what additional audits need to be conducted on top of the ones that the Biennial Audits Oversight Commission has already laid out. We will be meeting tomorrow afternoon to discuss the FY21 audit plan. Well, a lot of it is going to be dependent on the transition report, which, like I said, we're going to have that done by early January. We're working on finishing up that report now. For the next couple of weeks, we're going to focus on, now that we're actually here, getting the staff who are on board reoriented towards the new way we want to approach this office. Make sure that we get people the equipment that they need so that they can safely telework, and change the processes so that they can be doing that virtually. The next step behind that is how we open everything up so that the people of Baltimore have access to programs like Checkbook NYC or Checkbook LA. Even Baltimore County, right near us, has an open data conversion so that you can see the spending of the government on a regular basis, and we want to provide that level of transparency here in Baltimore City. Okay, thank you very much.